Welcome back. I'm very glad to be here today at Expedia, one of the world's leading online travel agencies, to explore how hotels can work better and maximize the potential of this very important channel. Today I have Christopher Michaud, Vice President, Global Partner Group, and Matthew Schutt, Senior Manager, Global Accounts, who are going to help us understand how hotels can work better with Expedia. Matthew and Christopher, thank you for being here. As you know, our objective here today is to understand how a hotel, be it an independent or a chain, can work better with Expedia. So Matthew, let's start with you. Let's start with the very, very basics. Why should a hotel work with Expedia?
I think there's a lot of reasons why a hotel should work with Expedia. Perhaps I could outline just a couple. First and foremost, expanding a hotel's global reach. As you may know, Expedia has over 150 sites in over 70 countries through our variety of brands, Expedia, Hotwire, Agencia, and so on. And through that global reach, we give hoteliers the ability to have exposure on other sides of the world, be it in Asia through What If, be it in America through Travelocity or Expedia.com. So the ability to target customers around the globe is probably first and foremost comes to mind. Secondly, the ability to target the sort of demand that they want according to their revenue strategy. We have obviously the ability to target corporate business midweek if that's something a hotel needs, weekend business, weekend escapes for couples, or even last minute business through Hotwire. So targeting the sort of demand according to a hotel's revenue strategy. I'd say additionally, in terms of analysis and the data points we're able to provide hotels, we're able to give them really great competitive insight to help them better target their customers.
Okay. The points that you made there are particularly true, I presume, for an independent hotel. But Christopher, how about for a chain hotel? Surely chains have got the scale to already have that kind of exposure, and they've got this intelligence for themselves. How can, or why should a chain work with Expedia?
The value that Expedia provides for the chains is very complementary to what Matthew just said for the independents. The reach that Expedia offers is to a scale that no other hotel chains have today in this world. So whether it's in the Americas, in Latin America, Europe, Africa, Middle East or Asia, we really offer that scale throughout the world. There's also, Expedia is a company, technology company that is specialized in travel. So as a technology company, we really invest massively into technology every year. And a lot of the chains are actually leveraging that technology as a hotel brand. They really have to develop the brand and market the brand, while Expedia is really focused on technology.
Okay, I think we're going to come back to that a little bit later, particularly when we talk a little bit about mobile. One of the controversial issues about working with OTAs is always the cost, the commission. And many hotels have a perception that working with OTAs is expensive. Do you think that the amount that hotels pay to Expedia is good value? And what do hotels get for that distribution cost?
We absolutely think it's good value. If you look at, to my points earlier about the ability to expand your reach globally, to target the demand that you want, and also the great insight and analytics and data points that we share, we really think that's great value. And of course, a hotel doesn't pay any compensation if they don't receive a booking, which is important to remember. Additionally, we know that actually 54% of online shoppers consult an OTA when they're looking at where to stay. But of that, only 31% actually book on an OTA. So what that means is they consult an OTA and they go and book elsewhere, for example, on a brand.com website. This essentially means that we're also a marketing and distribution partner for independent hotels and hotel chains, and thus that actually reduces, big picture, that reduces the cost of distribution as well for a hotel.
So what you're saying is, in effect, you're providing free visibility, because if you don't drive the booking, then they don't pay anything.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, in our model, we do not charge any fees upfront for the hotels. So by the time they decide to join and work with Expedia, we do not ask them for any fees to set them up as a property on our website, to offer them that visibility. We only ask them a compensation when we make a booking in their hotel.
Okay, and as we know, Expedia actually has two different forms of model. If we characterize it in the kind of the generic model, you still use the merchant model, but you also operate a commission model. Why should a hotel use one or either of these models?
So this model where we offer choice to the customers is what we call Expedia Traveler Preference, or known as ETP. The reason for it is really because of the variety of customers that we attract on our different websites. We are either attracting leisure customers, corporate customers, customers from around the globe. And some of those customers prefer to be able to transact in their own currency. And in that case, they're using the model of pay at time of booking that we call Expedia Collect. Or some others rather prefer to pay directly at the hotel, which is the model that we call Hotel Collect. When the customers pay directly at the hotel.
And in terms of cost for the hotel, is there a difference in cost between the two?
There'll be no difference for the hotels in terms of cost, and we also work with them in a very single manner. So we really notify them about at the time of booking which kind of booking are the consumers elected to do, because one, obviously they will have to charge Expedia for that booking, while the other, they will have to charge the customers for that booking. I think what the real benefit for the hotel is really to always attract this variety of customers, because by just working with Expedia, they can attract both types of customers, as well as increasing conversion. The more choice we offer to the customers, the more likely the hotel is going to convert by offering that choice to them.
Okay, so if you offer both models to your customer, if you allow Expedia to offer both models to your customer, then there's more chance the customer is actually going to commit to you rather than to one of your competitors.
That is correct as well.
Okay, let's go back to basics again. Imagine a hotel signs up with Expedia. So they say, okay, we want to work with Expedia. They sign the contract with you guys. What type of information do they then need to provide to you in order to allow you to sell them effectively?
Sure, the onboarding process is actually really simple. First and foremost, a hotel has to provide us with as much information about the property, their amenities, room types, and in addition 20 high resolution photos. We know that's really important, so making sure we've got photos of amenities, of the different room type categories and so on. The second step, of course, is to make sure that they're providing the traveller with the best, most competitive rates and availability. And then they'll watch a short video which will tell them a little bit about the tools, Expedia Partner Central, our self-service tool, and how to use that. And the final step actually is a member of our team will give the hotel a call, go through a checklist, make sure everything is accurate and accurately reflected, and then they'll be live on our site.
Okay. Now, you guys, you're an e-commerce company. You mentioned your technology company earlier on. You obviously do a lot of testing, a lot of A/B testing, so you obviously know what works. So in terms of the content, you mentioned photos. But apart from photos, or including photos, what are the top 3 pieces of content that a hotel should really focus on to make itself look good and attractive on Expedia?
I think on the photos, number one, that's definitely the number one, most important one. But it's also making sure there's photos for everything. So photos that picture your amenities in the hotel, photos of the different room types, because when you are selling different room types, there's nothing better than a photo that will tell the difference about the category of room types. And then once you have those, and as Matthew said, at least 20 photos, high resolution photos on the site, and that's really the bare minimum, then the next one is going to be about the amenities of the hotel. So really telling the customers every single amenities you're offering to the consumers, making sure the information is accurate on those amenities. So if an amenity is free, if an amenity is at a cost, what kind of cost is that, etc., etc. This is really, really important for the consumers. And then the third one will be really about the hotel, the location, and every single thing that will differentiate them from their competitors.
And do you help the hotels actually create this content? Because generally hotels are not great at, well, let's put it bluntly, writing and describing things attractively.
We absolutely have content guidelines and we have teams available to support. The real key from a hotelier's perspective is to make sure they're providing us that information so that we can display it accurately to the customer. We know that a quarter of our customers, for example, look at a specific amenity when they're making a search. So for example, if somebody's coming onto our site and looking for a pet-friendly hotel, if you've not got that box ticked, if we're not aware of that information, your hotel won't even display. So it's really important to have that accurately.
The other thing as well that we do is all those amenities can be easily described in our portal called Expedia Partner Central, where the hotel can we also provide tips and tricks about how they can better describe. If they really need the help, of course, we also have our market management team that is always available for them through human interaction, where they can help them to better showcase the property.
Okay, you mentioned earlier on that Expedia is available in multiple countries, so therefore you have the problem of language. Do the hotels have to provide the content in multiple languages?
That's something we would do on our side. We have a localization team that is specialized in translating the content into over 38 languages.
And that's done for free for the hotel?
Absolutely, yeah.
This is really part of what we offer to the hotel, is really talking to them in their own languages, working with them in their own currency, and from that central point, working with Expedia, then we will take on the burden of translating all the content, making sure their properties are displayed in all the local currency on all our different websites based on where they're located.
So that's very, very good value, particularly when you consider that it's pay-per performance. If they don't end up generating any bookings, then as a result, there's no cost.
That is correct. And in return for that, they still benefit from all the visibility that we provide them as a marketing channels throughout the world.
Well, Christopher, Matthew mentioned earlier on that having access to up-to-date rates and availability is obviously very important for Expedia. Let's imagine two different scenarios, a chain hotel or an independent hotel. What are the different options for these types of properties to provide Expedia with that data?
As this data is very important, we offer multiple solutions, so we can always have the one that fits the best, the hotel or the chains. Usually with the chains, with the large chains, we go for the most sophisticated solution, which is really a direct connectivity between our backend system and the chain backend system, otherwise known as the central reservation systems. This direct connectivity will push rates and inventory to us automatically. Then for the smaller chains or for the independent hotel, we have our quick connect connectivity solution, which really is much simpler, that can connect very, very easily to either channel managers, PMS, property management systems, and so on and so forth. So any hotel systems that the hotel is using where they can manage their rates and their inventory. This is very easy solutions where hotels have to work with their vendors in order to be able to connect with us. And the third, the more basic solution, is really through our portal, Expedia Partner Central, where manually they can manage their rates, their inventory, their promotions, every single aspect of revenue management within our systems in a very simple, easy to use manual solution.
You've set yourself up on the system, you've provided Expedia with great content. Expedia has now got access to your availability and rates. Obviously, the system is not just set and forget. You have to do things on a daily basis in order to make sure that you're getting your fair share of business. Matthew, could you explain to us a little bit how hotels and Expedia need to interact in order to make sure that they're maximizing the potential of the relationship?
Sure, there's a number of different elements that a hotelier can concentrate on in order to make sure they're getting the most out of their relationship with Expedia. The first is defining and creating a competitive edge for the hotel. As you know, in Expedia Partner Central, we provide a lot of data points through the dashboard, including number of views, including conversion, and actually a hotel can go in and set its own competitive set with as few as 5 hotels in order to see how they're performing and benchmark against their competition. Secondly, of course, we talked about it earlier, ensuring that a hotel has compelling visuals, because we know that 2 out of 3 customers won't even consider a hotel without compelling visuals and photos, according to Forrester. And the third piece is obviously making sure that hotels' policies and amenities are up to date. So as we spoke about earlier, a customer that's looking for a pet-friendly hotel or a hotel with a swimming pool, making sure that your hotel would surface during that search. An additional area is making sure that a hotel maximizes its visibility through the sort order on our site. We know that 75% of the click-through traffic actually goes through to the top 15 hotels on our site. So the way that a hotel can maximize this is through their Expedia Hotel Quality Score. This is made up of 3 elements. 1, ensuring that they're providing the customer with the most competitive rates, the most competitive availability, and also ensuring the content is up to date and is as compelling as possible. A hotel with a consistently high quality score will rank higher on the site, and obviously the opposite effect for a hotel that will consistently have a low quality score. The final piece is customer reviews. Reviews are so important in terms of how we shop today online, be it where we're going to go and eat, what film we're going to go and see or where we're going to shop. 9 out of 10 customers look at reviews before booking, and we know it's really important. So we always encourage hotels to encourage customers to leave reviews and establish a critical mass. We've also got a new tool called real-time feedback, which is a really great tool for hoteliers. And what that's about is 3 simple steps. Our customer checks into the hotel, he receives a short survey with 3 questions. How's the hotel? How's your room? How's the area, the location? And he responds with the feedback. This is pushed through to the hotelier automatically and immediately, so that a hotelier has the opportunity to fix any issues that the guests might have before they check out and leave a negative review. So it's a really positive tool to help hoteliers and encourage good post-stay reviews. And we're actually seeing positive impact on reviews in the early stages of this rollout, that real-time feedback is having a positive effect on reviews post-stay.
Matthew, you talked a little bit there about the quality score, which was very, very interesting because it's so important in determining where you're being positioned. You mentioned that it's determined by having highly competitive rate, highly competitive availability, and by content, and maybe by some other issues as well. Is this a score that's calculated on a minute-by-minute basis, or is this a score that's a little bit like a lifetime value of the customer concept, where what you do over the long term affects the quality score?
There are really 2 factors into this quality score. So of course the first one is that we are leaving and offering to our consumer a real-time view of what is available right now. So there's a lot of real-time data that comes into the computation of this score. So whether it would be reviews that are coming in, the rates, the availability that you are updating right now, which will have a direct impact right now on that score. But there's also, of course, a long-term effect on that quality score. So the way you've been constantly providing competitive rates, competitive inventory to Expedia will also affect that score throughout the long term. So it's really a combination of both short and long-term factors into the score.
So if I'm having a really bad week and my availability or my bookings are really, really low, I can't just drop my price on Expedia and I'll bounce up on the quality score and end up on the first page and get more business.
There are always multiple ways we can do this. So of course that will not have an impact straight away on your quality score. It will have some impact, but not a full impact. However, if you are in one of the situations, then that's where we encourage you to speak to your market manager so they can really work out what is the best promotion that will work, what kind of merchandising can Expedia put behind this promotion in order to be able to showcase your hotel.
And can you give us an example of how a hotel could work with you in terms of merchandising to drive more business?
Sure. In terms of promotions, we know that promotions drive visibility. You have, 1 in 4 shoppers always looks for a deal when they're shopping, and this could be because they want to feel like they're getting the best value for money, or feel like they need some sort of urgency in order to book. So we're able to do this in a few different ways. We know, as we spoke to earlier, providing competitive rates increases your sort and therefore your visibility on our sites. But equally, strike-through pricing and additional badging on the site draws a shopper's attention to the offer. And actually, there's a number of different offers that we're able to propose to a hotelier. If they're looking for midweek getaways or weekend stay business or package promotions, flight plus hotel or car plus hotel and so on, or even members-only deals, we have a wide range of different promotional activities, corporate as well as another example, that a hotel can target according to their revenue management strategy and can partner with us on.
And to take advantage of these opportunities, the hotel talks to their market manager, who's the best person positioned to actually figure out what's going to work for them.
There are really 2 ways to do this. So one is directly for our portal, Expedia Partner Central. They can actually load themselves directly those promotions and really target what they are looking for, whether based on travel dates or based on if I want to do a promotion on our package, in the package for the package customers. Of course, the other way is to talk with the market managers that, based on what's happening in the marketplace, they can also help them to navigate this environment and provide the best recommendation based on what the competition is doing.
We've talked until now about all the things that work. Obviously, over the years, you've come across things that hotels think work, which is really the kiss of death. Could you kind of give us some examples of some of the urban myths of working with Expedia that people think, oh, this is going to get me lots of business, but in reality, it has no effect?
I would say the simplest counterproductive approach is to stop providing competitive rates and availability. Why? Because that's going to reduce your visibility, in the sort order, but also actually, as Christopher was saying earlier about the sort of longer term part of that, could actually remove a hotel from the consideration set in early stages of shopping further down the line when actually the hotel needs business. So from a counterproductive approach, I would say not providing the best possible rates and availability would be the way to go.
Go ahead.
One of the best approach that we like to do at Expedia is really what we call the A/B testing. Sometimes we might not know if a promotion is going to work. Obviously, this environment is evolving all the time. 3 years ago, we were barely talking about mobile. Mobile today represents more than 25% of our transactions. As a result of that, you also have to adapt to this new customer. And what you were doing 3 years ago might be different from what you're doing today. And so we like to apply the philosophy that we have in terms of products and technology, where we say to the hotel, let's try it. There's no harm in testing something. If it doesn't work, we just remove it. If it works, we keep improving it over time in order to be able to drive as much conversion as possible.
Do hotels have the option of working with you in mobile and not working with you in mobile, or once you're on the system, you're available everywhere?
We really work everywhere with the hotel, and there's a very simple reasons for that. Today, the customers are transacting on multiple devices. So they start their search in the morning on their cell phone, for instance, while they commute to work, and then they'll go to the office, and maybe around lunchtime they'll be working on their desktop at work, and finally, we're going back home. They might be on their couch at home with their tablet and really keep looking, searching for that property or that vacation that they're really dreaming of. So as a result of that, it is really, really important to be available throughout the consumer experience and throughout the search of that consumer.
You brought up the subject of mobile there. How can Expedia help hotels to cash in on this trend and generate more bookings through mobile?
Sure, mobile's a huge focus. As Christopher said earlier, over 25% of our business at Expedia comes through mobile, and actually over 40% of the searches now on hotels.com are on the mobile path. Technology, obviously, as a technology company, a huge focus for us, and we've got some very, very bright people working and optimizing our products in terms of responsive design, making sure the content, with the changing size of the screens and the constantly evolving product that we're working with. Our investment into technology means that hoteliers can leverage that, be visible, and have the best possible content, and therefore the best possible traveler experience and conversion for their hotel.
Given the importance of mobile, does Expedia have any products which are only available on mobile?
We do consider mobile as a channel. So as hotels can work with us on the standalone basis, on the package path, we also have the mobile path. So of course, the streamlined offer is going to be available throughout those different paths. However, we also have some mobile-specific product that are really catered to this product. So for instance, we have customers that are obviously shopping on the same day at 4 p.m. for a property nearby where they are. And as a result of that, hotels can set up into Expedia Partner Central. They'll be able to set up those promotions that are dedicated to the mobile channels in order to really cater to that demand without affecting the rest of their revenue management strategy.
So in effect, you can geofence where the offer is going to be made available.
That is correct, yes. Through our technology, we can absolutely localize exactly where the guest is. And we offer for the hotels the ability to really target their customers if, of course, they are next door to your property.
So over the last number of years, Expedia has been getting bigger and bigger. It's operating in more parts of the world. It's using new technology. What's next for Expedia?
There are many, many things as a very dynamic and competitive world that we're doing. So keep expanding into multiple geographies. While Expedia is already very global, we're going to keep expanding into developing countries where consumers are finally accessing the internet through mobile devices and also starting to travel more and more. So that's the first one. The second one is really keep developing on technology. As we are moving along, technology keeps developing. We can now offer we can offer to our traveler the ability to get into the room without going through reception anymore, using the watches in order to be able to have last-minute instant information, all those kind of things. So technology keeps evolving at a really, really rapid pace, and we always have to adapt our product in order to always be closer to the needs of our customers. So really making that technology available to the hotels as well. So it's really about expanding our footprint within the travel industry and really helping the hotels within this environment as it keeps developing.
Gentlemen, that's been excellent. Christopher and Matthew, thank you very much for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you.